Well, hi, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Jim. This is Michaela. This is not a fake backdrop behind me. I am in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And Michaela, where are you coming in from?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina. And this is Surfboards to St. Croix. We're both real estate agents, and we're talking about not joining the traditional formats of real estate. We don't believe in the old traditional format of being stuck where you're at. Isn't that right, Michaela?
Absolutely. And I think we're going to be able to bring two different perspectives here. Jim, he has been with other brokerages before and has come over to EXP. I started with EXP from the beginning, but had a different background. So we're going to tell you a little bit about where we came from and then how we ended up here.
Yeah. The great thing, I think it's going to be awesome for people that are watching this, either people that are currently in real estate or thinking about getting real estate, is we have completely different perspectives. As you can tell, I am much older than Michaela, and my wife, Stacey, and I have been doing real estate. Actually, my wife started in 1997. So we like to say we started our business in the 1900s, but going on 30 years in real estate. I am a boomer. I'm a young boomer or an old Gen X, whatever you want to call it. And Michaela, how long have you been in business?
I've been in real estate for just 2.5 years, so I'm still a baby. So lots to learn, which is why it's great to have somebody like Jim here to help guide. And Jim, can you tell us how you ended up where you're at right now? Because you're not at home.
Oh, man, I'm in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. I said one thing that Stacey and I realized after doing business for a long time is that the old-fashioned way of doing real estate was not conducive to living your best life. And everybody has different goals in life as far as what they want to do and where they want to go. But one of ours always was, once we became empty nesters, and yes, we are at that point in life where we're empty nesters, was being able to still work, but we wanted to be able to travel and do it. And currently, right now, we're going through our bucket list of island hopping through the Caribbean. But if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, how can you be 2,500 miles south of Columbus, Ohio? Stacey and I live in Columbus, Ohio. How can you be 2,500 miles south of there and still run your business? And the answer to that was, for the longest time, we didn't have the platform to do it. As you can see, I'm wearing a shirt here. I'm with EXP, Stacey and I with EXP Realty, as is Michaela. And EXP provided us the tools and the opportunities to do that. And we're excited to share some of those things with you and talk about that, and to basically let real estate agents know there is no such thing as a bad brokerage. There's also no one fits all with the brokerage, right? There are different things that people need at different points in their career. We're going to talk a little bit about where we are with it. And Michaela, you've got a little bit of this also, right? You're doing business in multiple places.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am not an empty nester. I'm actually on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I am transitioning into nesting, I guess. I am expecting my first baby.
I didn't know if I was allowed
So
to mention that or not, so I kept it quiet. You don't even look pregnant. I mean, look at
thank
you.
you. Thank you. Yeah, we were 5.5 months down. We're expecting a baby girl in November. We're very excited. But obviously, I jumped into real estate even before I knew we were having a baby. Life was still busy at that time. So my husband, who's a firefighter, his schedule is really hectic. He works typically 3 days on, 3 days off. So he's gone for at least 72 hours at a time. And at the time when I started transitioning slowly into real estate, I was running a business, and I still run the business, but down in El Salvador is where we're based, and it's a surf company. We host trips down there. So flexibility, good work-life balance was so important to me. I had no idea where real estate was going to take me. I was really stepping into the unknown. I was kind of spread thin, obviously managing life at home. At the time, I think I was spending 2 weeks in the States, 2 weeks down in El Salvador, and just kind of bouncing back and forth, all while my husband would be 3 days on, 3 days off. So when we talk about juggling schedules, I needed flexibility. I knew if I wanted to make real estate work, a brokerage that is going to be flexible and work with me and understand this crazy schedule. And I interviewed with a few and realized EXP was really the only one that offered the training, the support. They actually have a whole little section for the part-time real estate agent, which is something I didn't see
Yeah.
advertised with any other brokerage. They were like, oh, you've got to be in the office every day. You've got to be full time, which I absolutely understand. This is a business where you get out of it what you put into it. But for some of us just starting, you can't give it your all. A lot of times you don't know where that first paycheck is coming from. And in my case, I didn't know where I would be at any given moment. So I couldn't just jump in head first as much as I wanted to. I couldn't say, all right, here you get 40, 60, 70 hours in my week in an office. And of course, I was able to build my way up. But even having that stepping stone was just something I'd never seen before. So that was a very long answer. But yeah, I kind of get to see that surf side of things and explore the islands. And that was a huge reason why EXP fit the bill.
It's a great perspective, and I love young people's attitude. I'm allowed to call you young because I'm more than twice your age here on this, but the millennial and Gen Zs get it. Like a lot of people misalign. I don't even know if misalign is the right word, but they don't understand. They, the old people, when I say they, I mean us, the boomers, right? We don't understand why they don't want to just go get a job and sit in an office and things like that. And the millennials and Gen Zs have really figured it out. In the fact that it's not just making money, but it's quality of life. Being able to do what you want, where you want, with who you want for as long as you want to do it. That's freedom. But the problem is there's never really been a platform in the past to accomplish that. And really, it's mine and Stacy's story. You know, in our first 2 decades in real estate, we did it the old fashioned, antiquated way of always having to be there. Like a lot of times people say you own your real estate business, but in the old way, the real estate business owned you. We would literally, when we were planning a vacation to go somewhere, we would calculate not only how much the vacation cost, but how much money we were going to lose as a realtor. If you're a real estate agent right now, I know you're thinking the same thing. What's the running joke? If you want to get busy in real estate, plan a vacation because you're going to have people calling you for wanting to do showings, want to list your house and things like that. And then here you are sitting there deciding, what am I going to do? Am I going to go on vacation or am I going to take this business? And so one of the things we're going to be talking about today, but also in future podcasts, is exactly how we've designed this life, how we've built freedom into it, and how you can be in real estate but still live your best life, right? The freedom that you can have with it. And I can tell you, probably 99% of most realtors don't have that. And I'm excited for this series as we do it. We've got some special guests that we're going to have on with us that have already talked to us about doing this. And if you're somebody who's watching this, by the way, we'd love to interview you and talk to you and tips and tricks. We believe, Michaela, in collaboration over competition, don't we? It's a core value of ours. We think that everyone can win. So we're going to share what we have and also other experts we're going to have on here. They're going to be talking. And we're excited for that to happen.
You don't have to do it alone.
You know, something that's funny is Stacy actually did 2 listing appointments yesterday back in Ohio, but here. It was really cool. Just the magic of FaceTime. One was a past client of ours. There's their third house coming through with us. And she was able just to have him go through and show the updates. We sold him the house, so we knew it already, but just use FaceTime and take it out there and just see different updates and things that he had done. I heard her making a couple suggestions on an accent wall. He had it painted Cleveland Browns orange. She's like, you got to take that and change that. You know, all the stuff that you have to do as an agent. But it was incredible. We were able to step off the beach, come in, do 2 listing appointments back to back, 4 and 5 o'clock. On the 4 o'clock, we knew the clients a little bit, so we sent some of our. One of the things we're going to talk about is scalability when you build your business, scaling it. But we sent 2 of our really good business partners over there, one to hold the camera doing it and the other one to help build rapport with the client a little bit better and knew us. And it went off without a hitch. And that was a 7-figure listing, which in Columbus, Ohio, that's a big property. So we're excited about that. And we're going to be sharing those things as we go through this series, actual usable tips and tricks for people that you can just take and copy and duplicate.
And Jim, I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, even being a little bit younger, I was a little bit hesitant and it took me some time to really transition to the technology, but at the same time I was excited about it and I realized this is the future. The reality is we have the flexibility to travel so easily, which is incredible. But people are moving all the time. You don't always stay in the same house you were born in and grow up there and live there forever. A lot of people are moving around. But one thing that really stood out to me is how progressive EXP was with the technology they offered. I was intimidated by it, but I realized, if I want to be successful in this business 20, 30 years from now, I'm going to have to get on board now. I'm going to have to learn and keep up with it. And I had kind of had like an aha moment when I was down in El Salvador. I was working with a client who was military and being relocated. His family was helping him with the house purchase. He was buying the home in Charleston, South Carolina. He was located in the Midwest and his parents were on the West Coast and I was down in El Salvador. So we had 4 different time zones happening. We were all over the place, and it was so streamlined and so easy. Again, because we have that access to our brokers all the time, and our community as a whole is so huge that there were people I could call on immediately, and I don't think anybody ever felt like they were missing an important piece. They all were able to see the property multiple times. They were, of course, able to come visit, but not often. And so the whole transaction was done virtually, and we made it happen. He loves his home. He's still there. This is about 2.5 years ago, and just from start to finish, it was online. Our closing was online. And just having that technology available to us, I realized it's opening so many doors. And I think that's where, as much as that we love being in person and connecting face to face, I think that's where I do best. The reality is there are those clients that sometimes you're going to have to be able to serve them remotely. And just we have the tools to do that.
Yep, setting the expectation up front is the key to it. We'll be talking more about that stuff. Even some of the scripts and things that we use, we'll be sharing that with people on here in the future as we dive deep into some of these different topics. But to play off what you said right there, the community within our brokerage, the way we're set up, because we're not a franchise model, we're able to build what we call a showing tribe. Now, if you're an agent watching this, lots of people in different states, make sure anything that we talk about, Michaela and I talk about on these podcasts, you check with your broker. There you go. There's our legal disclaimer. We don't pretend to know the laws in your state. So check those out. But we built in Ohio what's called a showing tribe. Because you're like, somebody was probably thinking, wait a minute, how the hell are you down in St. Croix, 2,500 miles away? How are you showing homes? Right? How does that happen? And the answer is what we call a showing tribe. And we built that, a group of like-minded agents that come together that will show homes for us. We just pay them a spiff on, we just Venmo them over, Cash App, whichever they want. And in Ohio, the going rate right now is $50 for the first showing and $35 for every showing like after that. So we can be here and we can pay that money to have somebody show the home for us. And then we're just available on FaceTime. So we write the contracts, we answer the questions. The person is literally just unlocking the house, letting them in and showing them around so that we're complying with all the state laws. And it's worked incredible, and people are totally fine with it when you have it set up ahead of time, right? Setting the expectation. And it's been great. We make it a point every time we're down here for a couple of weeks to make sure we do at least 3 or 4 deals while we're here. So in the past, we would take a week's vacation, and we always calculated we would lose at least probably 2 sales being on vacation. So that was the cost, right? If it was $10,000 to go on the vacation for a week, we planned on losing at least $5,000 to $10,000 in commissions also. So the total cost was always like 20,000. In this case, we actually have the trip set up so we understand what the cost of it's going to be. And then we also try to do deals when we're here. And then EXP adds a little extra on there that we'll talk to about in the future. EXP also, because we're part owners of the company, offers a thing called revenue share. Stacey and I, the revenue share that comes in every single month, we use that to pay for the next month's trip. So we're actually down here at zero cost to us. We base how long we're going to be here based on the size of our revenue share check. It pays for our entire trip while we're here, and we do business while we're here. So it's an amazing concept of truly owning a business versus just owning a job, right? And here's the litmus test, and I'll let Michaela talk because I talked a bunch on that. But here's the litmus test. If you're an agent, you're like, well, do I have a job or do I have a business? Here's the test. Can you right now pick up and leave for 2 weeks from your business and have it not just survive, but have it thrive? If it can thrive and it can run without you physically being there, then you have a business. If you have to be there, you're doing the showings, you're doing the listing appointments, things like that, you own a job. And don't feel bad if you're newer in the business. That's what you have in the beginning. You're it. You're wearing every hat in the thing. But we're going to show you in this podcast how to can do it really quickly, set up systems in place and the people there so that if you do, let's say you do want to be travel some more and things like that, we're going to show you how to set that up and still have your business run there. I know that was the world's longest talk there on that. People are going to be like, I've never heard anybody talk that fast in my life. I didn't know farmers in Ohio could talk that fast.
No, I think you hit on some really great points. One I wanted to circle back to is your showing tribe. And I would argue too, because, maybe we get a little possessive of our clients and we're the ones to take care of them and to just like handle every single piece of the transaction. But I would argue from a client perspective, they almost, again, setting the right expectation, but they feel even more taken care of. They're like, wow, I don't just have one person. Look at all of the people that they have around them that are providing support. And that's one thing I really love explaining to my clients. I am on a small team, but even as a solo agent, I still felt that I had other agents within the brokerage to lean on and to provide that support. And my clients always, they just, oh my gosh, we had such a great time doing the showing with Sarah or whoever might be stepping in for me. And again, it's just explaining, hey, Sarah, she's on my team. She's going to be helping to do X, Y, and Z. But how much more can we accomplish when we divide and conquer and we have people who have different strengths? So we might have people in our corner that are really good at open houses. They put on an event. It is not just putting signs in the ground and opening a door. Like they go above and beyond and they thrive on that. And so from a seller's perspective, they're like, wow, your team put on this amazing open house for us. And then your transaction coordinator, all of these people that we have in our back corner, again, I think it's really coming back to you just don't have to do it alone, but our goal is to serve our clients. We want to give the clients the best possible experience from start to finish. And so you really have to think to yourself, can I give them the best experience all by myself? Or if I let people who are really good at open houses and really good at showing and really good at these other tasks, if I let them step in, are they going to have an even better experience? Am I able to pour in what I'm really good at, where I'm strong, and just give them a really unique experience? And I don't see a lot of other brokerages or even other agents doing that because we feel like we have to keep our clients so close to the
Right.
chest and protect them. But again, that spirit of collaboration and there is enough pieces of the pie to go around was so refreshing and so different. I think it just provides a really cool client experience.
You're getting ready to experience it, and there's probably a lot of other agents that are watching this right now, but being a new mom, there's going to be times when you want to be there for their little kindergarten graduation and things like that. Like things that may sound insignificant to others, but it's going to be a huge deal to you. And it's going to be a huge deal to your little girl. And the systems and tools and the people we have in place here are going to set it up so you don't have to miss those things. If I was coaching any realtors out there, I would tell them, don't miss the stuff. Don't miss your kid's soccer game. Don't miss things like that. Use the showing tribe and the community that we've built to buy your time back. So it's
Uh,
it's awesome. But don't miss the things because life is going to come by. Of course, this is a cliche. Life is going to go so fast, but I can tell you, and you're going to see me encouraging you, Michaela, as you're being a new mom. Don't miss the stuff, right? But here's the problem: if you're just a control freak solo agent, to kind of what you were talking about, control freak might be a harsh word, but you don't want to like give up anything, and you don't set the expectations right, you're going to find yourself, should I show this house or should I see little Johnny's soccer game? It's a hard choice because Stacey and I did it, and we worked so hard. I mean, our biggest year we had back in the early 2000s, we sold 134 houses between the two of us with a couple assistants, no buyers agents, and we missed our kid's life. We missed his first steps. The nanny saw that. The nanny got to hear his first words and things like that. And those are things we'll never get back. And the reason was because where we were at, there was no platform to do it. And so this is something that I would encourage all agents to do that you can do today is get out and create a showing tribe of like-minded agents in your brokerage, provided your laws allow it, and make it a deal where you help show houses for each other to buy your time back. And it's so worth it to send somebody $50 with Venmo to go open a house for you, and you don't miss your kid's game of them kicking the winning goal or scoring the touchdown, or if they're in gymnastics or dance or whatever, because you're never gonna get that time back. And it's gonna go so fast, you're not gonna believe you're gonna be sitting there one day and go, I remember that dude Jim saying time was gonna go fast. And it does. And that's what we're talking to people about is not just making money, but the quality of life you can get while having it. So it's a showing tribe. We'll probably do an entire episode on it to show exactly how to do it, the scripts you use, and the type of agents you bring in, and the different platforms available to make that stuff happen. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you and I were both attracted to EXP for very different reasons. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but for me, something that was so important, just getting started, was the initial support. I was a brand new agent, and I'm sure there's other agents out there who can relate. You get your license, and then you're like, now what? At least from my experience, there was nobody there to hold my hand. There was nothing. I had to reach out to a couple other agents that I knew and just was like, all right, what do I do now? Like I've got the license. I checked that box. And of course, that's an important first step, but there's zero guidance after that. And I was so lost and confused. And I really didn't have a good understanding or a grasp on the concept that this is my own business. So I just didn't know where to start. I interviewed with a couple of brokerages and then I had to get kind of real with myself and was like, well, what do I feel like I really need right now? I am starting from square one. I don't know anything about opening a lockbox or how to get clients or anything. I mean, as silly as it sounds, and it becomes sometimes they skip over that because these agents have been in the game for so long that they think it's second nature. They think everybody knows it. You need somebody to hold your hand sometimes. And so when I was interviewing around, there are a lot of great brokerages out there who have some good training and good support on the front end, but I learn really well from other people. And it was really just like reading off of slides or watching these videos. And I was like, that's just not my learning style. I want to connect with somebody and have somebody walk me through this contract and this client and some Q&A and how to handle some different challenges, not challenges that would just be in a slideshow deck, just the challenges that are specific to this client. And EXP had this mentor program. Again, they had a little segment all about how to kickstart your business as a part-time agent. They offered an insane amount of resources. I think right now they're doing over 50 plus hours of training every single week that is just available to us whenever we need it. We have our brokers available to us all the time. It doesn't matter day or night, although I know they would probably prefer we don't reach out at night. But day or night, they are just available to us. And then the mentorship program they had, that's what I kind of jumped in, had an amazing mentor. I still lean on her all the time. But she was able to just get me looped in and she gave me the guidance. And I still reach out and just, hey, what do you think of this? And it's such a great collaboration. But she held my hand and nobody else was able to offer that. And so for me, that training, that support, we know things are changing in real estate all the time. It's like every other day we learn a contract and they're like, okay, and now here's a new version of it. And here's a new version of it. And I feel like always one step ahead. Like we know our contracts before anybody else does because EXP is so on top of it. And I was like, I don't want to be playing catch up forever. I want to know and have these resources available to me at all times. And that's just been such a confidence boost for sure.
Yeah, I agree with everything you say, but I mean, Michaela, are you saying that real estate school doesn't teach people how to sell real estate? Is that what you're saying on there? So here, if you're new and you're watching this, or if you're somebody who's thinking about getting into real estate, Michaela, reach out to her and she can tell you her experience. And if you somebody who knows me, and Stacy and I, you think about getting into real estate, reach out to us. But what I want you to know is this, is that there's a difference between training and mentorship. I think everybody can agree with that, right? Training is telling you what to do. Mentorship is getting in the trenches and showing you what to do. And because of our unique financial alignment, our business model that EXP has, we're set up to collaborate. And in that collaboration, the company incentivizes the grizzled old veterans to help the new people survive. Because here's the ugly stats. Here's one thing you guys will find out about me watching this if you don't know this, is I shoot you straight on everything. And you may not like what I say, but I'm just going to tell it to you how it is. And here it is. If you're thinking about getting into real estate or if you're brand new, 2 out of 3 agents don't make it 1 year. 2 out of 3 don't make it 1 year. And here, that's not even the horrifying number. The horrifying number is this: 82 out of 100 don't make it 5 years. In the old, antiquated system, the system where everybody was in it for themselves, right? The eat or be eaten, right? The eat what you kill mentality, right? All the different cliches they have out there. What our founder created was a financial alignment of collaboration where the most experienced agents in the company get incentivized to help you, the new agent, win. And not just to tell you what to do. Anybody can tell you what to do. You can go read that in a book. You can watch a YouTube video and do that. But is somebody going to get in the car with you and go on that listing appointment so that you win the business? Because here's what's going to happen, new people, or maybe agents who've been in a while, haven't sold a house. First question you're going to get asked when you go to the listing appointment: so how many of these have you done? And when you're new, what's the answer if you're not lying? 0, right? Here's the bad news. Nobody wants to be your first in real estate. Maybe some other things they want to be, but not in real estate. They don't want to be your first. No one wants to be, right? But if you take a grizzled old veteran with you who's there, who's on your side, who's in your corner, who's going to be helping to mentor you every step of the way, you can use that at the kitchen table when you're talking to your listing. Say, well, I'm going to be your point of contact, but let me introduce you to my business partner, Michaela. Michaela's been doing this, is a superstar in this thing, a rock star in it. and I'm going to be using her negotiation strategies, her marketing, her pricing strategies, and she's going to be with me every step of the way, but I'm going to be your point of contact. And how much better do they feel about that now that they have an experienced veteran on your side? And that's what we do here at EXP. We help you win the business from a mentorship standpoint versus just the old days. Look, when Stacey and I started in the old days, man, they brought us in and handed us a phone book. And I'm not kidding. This is the old days. Michaela, in the old days, phones used to have a string cord and it was attached to the thing, and you had to pick it up and put it to your ear. And we thought we were high tech when we got headsets that plugged into the phone and could talk on it.
And I
And they
thought you were still using carrier pigeons.
smoke signals. I started when it was smoke signals going on like that. But that's something that if you're thinking about getting into real estate, and I know a lot of young people are, is a great way to get in. I heard Michaela use the term part-time agent. Some brokers will tell you, no, you can't do it part-time. You need to go full-time in it. You need to quit your job. I think it's horrible advice. Horrible. Because none of us get to choose when your first transaction will close. And there's nothing worse than a desperate salesperson. Nothing worse, right? We recommend go ahead and start it part time. We're going to help you build the business the way you want to build it, not the way we want to build it. We're going to help you do your thing. You'll tell us what your goals are, and we'll lay out for you specific dollar producing activities that you need to do 5 days a week to get you to that. There's a literal formula. How many people you're going to talk to and how you're going to get in front of those people. And we'll show you how to do it using technology, the tech tools, the AI and automation, things like that, that we have built in to do that. Again, that's a whole other topic. We'll do another day. I probably got in too deep on that on our very first podcast on here. But that's what you have to look forward to. And again, reach out to Michaela if you know her. In fact, if you're an agent right now who is out there and you're like, well, I'd like to hear a little bit more about EXP, I'm sure she would love to share some of it with you. And we can even jump on a group Zoom together and chat about it. If you're somebody who I know who's a millennial and or Gen Zer, and you're like, I don't want to talk to some old fart boomer. I want to hear what it's like with somebody young and up and coming, starting a new family, and things like that. I can put you on Michaela, and she can tell you her experience, what she's experienced. She's a superstar at this thing, and has crushed it in her first 2.5 years. I'm really looking forward to see where you go from there.
But thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to chat with anybody who has additional questions, or if there's something that you wish we covered a little bit more, feel free to send that over to us. Like Jim said, we're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to bring in some other experts. Again, we don't have to be an expert in everything. That's the beauty of it is we have so many people in our corner that if you have something really specific that you want to get into, we'll bring in that person and we'll chat through it and give you as many resources as we possibly can share. But right now, our goal is just to share the value to you guys as well.
And just to make it super easy too, Michaela, we'll put our calendar links down below in the comments section. I'll have mine down there, and Michaela will have hers there, so you can jump on. So it's super easy to get a hold of us, and you can schedule a phone call. You can schedule a Zoom. If you're local, we'll meet up. Right. In fact, if you're here in St. Croix, I'll be happy to meet you on the beach right out here at the Tiki Hut, and we can chat over some cold ones while looking out over the ocean, stuff like that. But it's great. Michaela, thanks for putting this thing together. I know you did all the organizing and stuff up front. I'm old school and fly by the seat of the pants, but you're going to be one of the most organized people I've ever met, and I love it. It's going to be a great time, great series.